Welcome back, babe. I am so excited to have you back here to the Wind Up Women podcast. And guess what? I am back from California. And holy moly, it was literally such an amazing experience. I met so many amazing women that are in this industry with me. If you don't know already, I'm an online health and fitness coach with Team Rise Up Beautiful. And if you want more information on how you could do this alongside with me, I have an Instagram page at Team Rise Lifestyle. So you can go check that out and see if it's something for you. But today's podcast is going to be a little different because I did experience a low during this conference, which is not what I expected to happen, because these conferences are literally life-changing. You're full of, you're surrounded by positive people, uplifting people, supportive people. It's an environment I've never experienced or seen in my life. And so that's why this event, this thing that happened to me, kind of rocked my world. So I just wanted to dive deep into what happened and kind of see and give tips in case this has happened to you, or if it ever does happen to you, you can use these tools to kind of help you get through it. So you're probably like, Shannon, what happened? So on Friday, I actually experienced my first panic attack. And at the time, I did not know what this was. I was just so confused on what was happening. So I was sitting there and I was just so excited. I was sitting with one of my friends and I got my laptop out. I was getting ready to get to work and take notes because there was speakers about to go on, and I was fine. I was happy. I was excited. I was just eager and ready to learn. There was nothing that was triggering to me, which I'm still trying to figure out what happened. Sorry. I'm drinking seltzer water because I don't have wine in the house. I need to go get some. So I was sitting there just getting ready. Nothing was going bad or wrong. I was having the time of my life in California. But then all of a sudden, I felt like my heart was going to stop, or it was about to race out of my chest. Like, it was skipping beats, and then it was also going so fast. And so I have an Apple Watch, and I looked at it, and my friend was like, Shannon, are you okay? You just look like you're gonna pass out. And I was like, I don't feel good. I feel like my body's going numb. My heart is racing, and I don't know what the heck is going on. And so she's like, check your Apple Watch and take your pulse. So it ended up being my pulse, my heartbeat was at 118. And I was just sitting there. It wasn't like I just ran or worked out or anything. I got ready, went and took my seat, and I literally just was sitting there, not doing anything. And I was like, what the heck is going on? So I just told her, I said, hey, I think I'm just going to go up to my room for a little bit and just kind of lay down. I said, I'll be back down in a minute. And at that point, I texted Justin and I was like, babe, I'm not feeling good. I feel so weird. My arms are starting to go numb. My face is starting to tingle, my neck was tingling a little bit, and my heart was racing. And even when I laid down, my heart would not stop. So he was like, Shannon, you just need to really go and talk to someone. Go to medical. There's got to be someone there at that event that does medical. And of course, I'm so stubborn, guys, and I just didn't think, I thought it would just go away, right? So I drank a lot of water. I tried to eat lunch with the girls, but I couldn't even eat. I didn't have an appetite because I was so distracted on what the heck was going on in my body, right? Just like anyone would be. You're freaking out. You're like, what is wrong with me? I feel like I'm having a heart attack, right? So, long story short, I ended up going, actually it's still going to be a long story. So, I ended up going up to someone at corporate that works there. And I said, hey, do you guys have a medical tent? And at this point, guys, I was just trying to hold myself together because, again, I'm in California. I do know people, but these are all people I just met than the day before. So I'm surrounded by people that I'm not too familiar with. I didn't want to cause a scene. I didn't want to like draw attention to myself because I was like, this just could be nothing, right? So I went up to this guy and he's like, yeah, sure, I'll get someone. He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I just feel like my heart's about to jump out of my chest. My heart's going really fast. So he had me sit down, and then I asked the girls, I said, hey guys, do you mind, like, these two girls came over and they're like talking to me. They're like, we got to call an ambulance. I'm like, no. I was like, can we go into a different room? So they took me into a different room and they brought in security from the hotel. They brought in another person that kind of had some medical background. There was like a few corporate people in there talking to me and supporting me. And he took my blood pressure and he took my heart rate again. And my heart rate was at 120 and then my blood pressure was at 110. And so I'm 27 years old and that is not good. Not good. So they were kind of nervous for me. They wanted to bring me to the ER and just get me checked out and all this stuff. And at this point, they had a girl come in. Her name was Mary, and she works at corporate. And she has struggled from panic attacks, and she knew right away when she saw me that that's what was happening. So she came over. She just held on to me tight. She was rubbing my hair, like brushing through my hair, and just like providing me water and like calming me down, trying to distract me, and helping me breathe because I just was having a freak out. I just didn't know. My body was shaking. And then it just started getting worse and worse. I started to not feel my face. I started not feel my arms. And they were like, okay, enough is enough. Are you able to walk? And I'm like, yeah, I can walk. And so they brought me to urgent care because I didn't want to go to the emergency room. And once I got to urgent care, I was sitting there, and it, of course, definitely not urgent because I was sitting there for a while and it just kept getting worse and worse. And the girl, Mary from corporate, she came along with me to support me so I wasn't alone, right? So she's sitting there, and she was like helping me. Oh my God, I'm just so grateful for this company. They have like, they're just so amazing. She was like, what do I need to do? What do you need? She was just talking to me, trying to distract me, helping me just get through this. And all of a sudden, guys, my face, my right side of my face, well, if you're looking at me, it would be my left, but my right started to go numb. I could not move. I could not smile on one side of my face. It just wouldn't move. It like started to swell on one side. My arms were like feeling like they were being ripped apart. There was so much tension and pressure, and I was shaking. My palms were so sweaty, but I was freezing at the same time. It was the weirdest experience. So, all in all, I went in and I got an EKG. They took my blood pressure again, and they just kind of calmed me down a little bit. Honestly, it was the worst staff, all of this stuff, but corporate wanted to make sure I could fly, so I needed to go to the ER after this because they needed confirmation that I could fly from the doctors, and urgent care just was not giving that. They couldn't give me any medications. They couldn't say anything. They literally were, it was so rude. They just were not like giving me anything. They just kind of wrote me off, which I expect because, you know, I'm in LA. That's a huge spot, like right downtown LA. I guarantee they see so many people a day just coming in and doing all this stuff. They're probably sick and tired of it. So I was just another one on their list that day. And I definitely felt like that. So luckily I had the corporate mentor, Mary, with me. So she kind of stood up for me. And she actually was like, do we want to just go get some CBD gummies for you? I was like, yes, please. I need it. But I still, like, when I was getting that EKG, I couldn't sit still. I was shaking. All of this stuff, and all they kept saying to me was just breathe, focus on your body, relax, all of this stuff. And in the meantime, Justin was freaking out because obviously he's here home. by himself, and I'm all the way across the country I'm in the like urgent care and ER, and he's like, what is going on? And at this point I could barely write anything. I could barely text. So I was having Mary text Justin during this whole situation. It was just a mess. So this started at 10 a.m. and it gradually got worse, and then it gradually started to dwindle down, and the whole day ended at let's say like 5 o'clock. So my panic attack started at 10 a.m. and fully ended, I would say, around 5 o'clock p.m. It was so drawn out. It was absolutely the most worst experience ever. I ended up going to the ER just to get confirmation that I could fly the next day. But I ended up missing like dinner and game night with all the girls back, all the other coaches there. But the company actually sent me back to the hotel room. They sent me complimentary dinner up to my room, and because I missed game night, they're sending all of the prizes to my house. They set me up with a private car to the airport the next day. It just like this company, guys, I can't explain my gratitude enough, and how thankful I am to be a coach and to have this community to support me and this sisterhood, like no matter what. So if you are looking for something like that, guys, this is it. If you're looking for that community that will support you and love you no matter what, if you're in a crisis and they are there and backing you up no matter what, this is that community for you. So I'll actually post a link of that Instagram page that I'm in, that I have all the information there for you about this opportunity in case you're curious. If you're interested in fitness, if you're interested in health, or you just want to get healthier, this is the place for you, girlfriend. This is definitely the place for you. So I wanted to just talk about today maybe a few ways, if you ever find yourself in a panic attack, here are a couple things that maybe you could try, and a couple things that I applied to kind of help myself come down off of that attack. And again, this was my first one ever, so in the moment I had no freaking clue what was going on, but now that I know, I did apply a couple of things that Mary helped me with, and a couple of you guys reached out to me on Instagram and helped me with, and they worked. So here are a few of my tips if you ever find yourself in the middle of an anxiety attack or panic attack. So first and foremost was breathing. And it's not a breath like this is how I was breathing. I was breathing like that, but the doctor and like Mary were like, no, Shannon, you have to go slower. So I want you to breathe like this. Hold for 3 seconds. Breathe all the way out. And then keep doing that. Really slow down your breathing. It's because you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain, and that's why you're having that little freak out moment, right? My little doggy's just cuddling with me. I'm okay. I'm just breathing, Molly. So the next one, this really did help me, is close your eyes and do the breathing. So the next day on the flight, I actually kind of felt one coming back on. So I literally just sat there, guys, and I did my deep breaths. I didn't care who was looking at me. I just did not care. And I just did my deep breaths, closed my eyes, and just focused on relaxing my body. I just let go. I just hold for 3 seconds. Breathe. And then I just relax my body. And as I'm like breathing and thinking of those things, I was like wiggling my toes and kind of like having my mind focus on different things. I also was having mantras in my mind, or I would give myself a hug. I would just hug myself, or I would just repeat in my mind, like, you are safe, you are loved, this is only temporary, you are safe, you are safe, you are safe. And it really did help. And just knowing that I'm not going to die, things are going to be okay, I'm supported, I am safe. it kind of just helps you like see the end point, right? So another thing that really did help when I was with Mary, sitting there at the doctor's, before we went to the doctor's, all of the stuff, even after, like now she's still like she's still texting me today, like, are you okay? How are you feeling? And I'm like, God, I just love this community. I love her. Like, she just changed my life so much. I'm so grateful for her. So talk about something different. So Mary, she literally, like, she was asking me all the things, like we just were talking about different things in life. We were talking about the business. She was giving me pointers on the business. It was literally like I got this one-on-one with a mentor of the business that I run, right? So she was just like giving me all these pointers and talking about commission and talking about like ranks and all of these things that like we talked about in the business and that I was missing, and how to like up level on social media and all of these things, and how to talk to my coaches and mentor them better and be a better leader. And as she was talking, I noticed, I was like, wait, Mary, I think it's going away. And she's like, that's why I'm doing it. She was like, I'm trying to distract you. I'm trying to get you to take your mind off that, because all you're thinking about right now is the fact that you're having a freak out moment and your heart's going so fast. That's all you can think about. But once you get distracted and talk about something else, your mind's off of it. You finally can be like, okay, I can focus on something else right now. I'm fine, right? So that really did help, of having a conversation going other than focusing on just my body and what's happening in my body, right? Another thing that helped me was stretching or feeling grounded or sitting on the floor. So right when I got back to the hotel room, I just kind of like sat on the floor, got really grounded, and I stretched. I just stretched. I did like some yoga moves. I did like a lot of down dogs, like chaturangas. I did all of those things just to kind of move and flow and breathe. And that definitely did help me. And then another thing, when they sent me up dinner, they sent me some hot tea, and it had green tea in it, but the bag broke, so I couldn't use it. So I actually just used hot water with lemon, and I just sat in bed and I drank hot tea. I turned off all the distractions, and I just relaxed. I just sat there and drank my tea and just felt the warmth of the tea go in my body, and breathed and just relaxed. And guys, that helped so much. I can't even tell you. I even took a picture of it because it just helped so much. And I just will always remember that moment of just being so present. I put away my phone. I put away all social media. I just sat there in silence, in darkness. I looked out the window and just thought about how grateful I am to have my body, have a body that shows me signs of when something's wrong, have the support, have the community, and have all those lessons that I learned that day, and just really focus on breathing and relaxing my body. And just having that tea kind of gave me that cozy, comforting feeling of home, right? So if you can get any tea or something like that, that definitely will help. And then the last thing I did, I actually had Justin send me videos of Molly, our dog, and just send me videos of her playing or outside or sleeping, or just little pictures of her or videos. And surprisingly, that helped so much. He sent a video of Molly just laying there, playing with a little toy. And I replayed that multiple times as I was getting on the plane the next day, because I was feeling a little anxious. I felt like one was coming on, but it wasn't as bad yet. And I just replayed that video, and it made me smile. It made me laugh. It made me think of home. It made me feel safe. It made me feel comforted. It just made me feel happy. And so if you have any like videos on your phone that you can like watch and take you out of that moment that you're like focused on your heartbeat or whatever, and you're focused on this panic attack that's happening, go to your phone and maybe watch a funny video that something happened, or a fun like meme or silly YouTube video or a comedy or something. That definitely did help me a lot. So I'm sorry if this episode was me just rambling, but I just wanted to share my experience of that panic attack that happened, because I did have a lot of people ask and reach out. And I wanted to share this on social media because that's what I'm about, being real, vulnerable, honest with you guys, because I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. And what I'm going to be doing now is really, really diving into why it happened, what triggered me, and how can I improve on that. And to be honest, literally, I was in the happiest moment. I was having so much fun. It was literally the best day ever. And that happened. So I don't know what exactly triggered me, but my goal is to really dive deep down and figure out what it was, possibly go back to therapy. I'm going to be listening to a lot more audiobooks. One of my mentors, Mary, the one that was with me the whole day, she actually recommended reading The Big Leap. So I'm actually going to purchase that on Audible. I listen to all my books now on Audible because it's just easier and I can fly through them and really just learn more faster, because I listen to them in the car, in the shower, while I'm working out, while I'm cleaning, on my walks, all the things. So if you don't have Audible, go get it. But I'm going to be reading The Big Leap, and she said it would definitely help her, help me with that, because it definitely helped her deal with it, because she also suffered from panic attacks and all of those things, and dealing with things head on. So yeah, that is about it. And I totally appreciate your guys' support. If you have ever struggled from panic attacks, feel free to message me on Instagram. I'd love to chit chat with you and see like ways you cope with it, and maybe we can exchange or get each other's like opinions or thoughts on how to cope, or even support each other. If it ever happens again, we can reach out to each other and support each other in that way, because remember, I'm always here for you, girlfriend, always. And with that said, if this episode resonated with you, feel free to just scroll down and leave a review and subscribe, because literally, guys, it's not just me trying to be like, review, get a review, but the reviews actually help this podcast in the algorithm of iTunes, and it helps this podcast be seen by more people. And if someone is out there struggling with a panic attack, they would need and want to have someone that understands them, right? So this podcast episode could help them. So we want to get this podcast in more hands of women who might need to hear this message today. And also, if you feel called to, feel free to screenshot this episode and tag me on Instagram stories with your biggest takeaways. I just love hearing from you guys and getting any recommendations for episode ideas. I am all ears, and this is a platform and podcast that is made for you, because you guys have been asking for this. So I'm just having so much fun and absolutely loving being able to share my journey with you guys, in hopes that it helps inspire and breathe belief back into you, girlfriend. So thanks for listening today, and go pour yourself a glass of wine, because I always say it's never good to keep things bottled up. I'll see you next week, babe. Love you.